Hello again, it's Einar from Unity Center. We're still talking to Heiko and Kleimann about uh, Raphael, about radiation and what we can do about these things. But I want to talk a little bit more about what can we do to protect ourselves against radiation. And Raphael also wants to talk a little bit about water, how important water is. We'll take a little bit more about how we can protect ourselves against all these radiation kinds that's going in the air now.
Okay. Well, the bad news, of course, is that the level of radiation is growing. It's just exasperating. It's just wild. So much more we're getting all the time. The good news is that it's actually possible to shield yourself because these rays, this radiation, this can be reflected. Just like in a mirror, you can have metal coatings, and you don't have to have thick layers of metal. It's enough with a curtain or some kind of tissue that has tiny little silver threads in it, and this silver will then work as a mirror, and it will send the radiation right back. So if you have a curtain on your window, the radiation from the mobile mast won't come through. Less than 0.1% will come through. 99.9 will go back to the mobile mast. In the same way, you can protect yourself if you make clothes or underwear, just like I'm wearing now, from that
From
kind
curtains.
of. Yeah, I mean curtain. That is cotton. It's actually ecological cotton with silver threads. Or you can have special caps on you. You can put your mobile phone into a little bag which has this silver tissue. And if you're thinking of your home, you can also use paint. You can paint your walls with a special painting that has, again, silver particles in it. And that works perfectly. You can create peaceful rooms in the midst of the city where you otherwise have a lot of radiation.
What happens to your telephone? You don't get any telephones anymore either.
Well, if you really shield it perfectly from all the sides, then you get a Faraday's cage. And then, yes, you get no radiation from outside, but if you then call for the first, you won't really get contact with the outside, and then you get extra lot of radiation because your signals go through all the walls.
Oh, yes.
But that's theory. The reality is that when we shield a room, we won't paint all the walls. We always paint only the walls that actually are towards the mobile mast, and then you're all fine. Actually, another nice thing is you can hang up a kind of canopy, a tent, so to speak,
around where you sleep.
Yes, and that's beautiful. I mean, it's you're sleeping like a king in this beautiful paradise canopy, and that again is shielding.
Yes. You wanted to tell us a little bit about water. You have been working with flower medicine.
Yeah.
And then there you came in. You saw how important water was. You said.
Well, yeah, actually, I mean, I haven't been dealing with this radiation problem all my life, not at all. I've worked as a teacher and as a therapist. I did my training at the Flower Essence Society in California, and then started producing flower essences myself of alpine flowers, of animals, and especially of mistletoe flowers. And that was my way to get into these subtle energies. And I realized the power of frequency in water, to put it like that. And I also realized that the body gets sensitive to the good energies. It can also get more and more sensitive to the negative energies. And the substances themselves are very sensitive. So when you have very high quality flower essences, they can be destroyed by being exposed for wireless router or for wireless telephone. And that's how I got into that. And besides, I realized how computer work was stressing me out and burning me out. So I researched on these the connections, the synergies of these factors. And then, yeah, you asked about the water. I researched about the water, and I found that it's incredibly important what kind of water we're drinking, and it's both the material and the energy aspect. We gotta have clean water, and if we take the water which we usually get in the cities, then we have to use filters to get these substances out. Lots of toxic stuff in there, but if we take only the filter, the water won't be living water. Actually, the filter itself makes the water even more tired, so to speak. So after filtering, you have to get the energy up. And there's nice ways to do it. The most natural one is to create a vortex, because water is a flowing substance. It wants to be in flow, in movement. And if you give water back this movement by installing a little vortex on your tap, or by doing it yourself, there are these nice mouth-blown glass things. They look like an hourglass.
So you have to make
yes. And in just seconds, the energy in the water is back. This is
important which way you do it. You're talking about the right and left. You have to make the water go with the sun.
And maybe also a combination. If you give it a left spin, then you can free it from the negative energies that are in the water, and then with a right spin you can kind of manifest the positive energy you want to give it.
But right spin, that's the same as the clock.
With the sun, yeah.
The clock.
Yes.
Some people don't know which way the sun goes.
Yes.
Not me.
Yeah.
Okay. Water is important, yes, but
and it's even more important when you deal with radiation. Like when you have a lot of electro stress on you, you have mobile mast and you use a lot of mobile phone and so forth, then your system is in a constant stress. You can measure it with your autonomic nerve system, and also your blood gets acid. So the water helps to keep up the pH balance in your blood, and helps to get rid of all these substances that are being produced in the body because of the radiation.
So you recommend to drink a lot of water?
Yes, definitely. Yes. And good water, living water.
Yes. But if the water coming out from the tap is syre?
Yes, it's acid. Yeah.
Yes, I measured some water and it's a little bit under nitro.
Yes. Yeah,
that's
typical. Yes.
Anything you can do with that?
Well, I mean, there's a technical way to ionize water, and we recommend to do that as a kind of medical treatment over a certain time, to just take ionized water. That can really be a kind of a boost for the organism. But we do not recommend to have this as your normal drinking water all the time, because in a way it's a very unnatural way to split up the water. But you can vitalize water, you can energize water in a very natural way with giving it the vortex flow back, or some other methods to vitalize it.
Yes. Guys, you'll be talking about a lot of things here about paint, but what people that's interested in, what do we do? Where can we buy these things? Do you have?
You want us to make advertising?
You have a recommendation there. Well, you have some. You have a web shop or something?
Yes, we do.
Where you can buy paint and curtains and telephone things.
Yes, we do. I mean, Baldron has a web shop. It's called Norway's Greenest Netbutikk. Web shop. Yes. Norges grønneste nettbutikk. And there we have more than 1,000 articles, and several hundreds just on radiation, and several hundreds just on water. Well, Baldron is kind of it's two things. The one is the web shop, and the other one is a cooperative, which is running the courses, and these two are separate. And the web shop finances also our goals, which we have with our Baldron Association.
Okay. You also have a school educating people.
Yes.
Then you get lots of competition then.
Oh yeah, okay. Others can do measurements.
Yes. What do you think about that? Are you more like a idealist?
Well,
Idealist? You want to spread the news?
Yes. Well, I'm not afraid that we are going to lack
Work.
work because the radiation is growing and
Yes.
people are really suffering from radiation. More and more people are starting to realize that that is a problem. Many others just feel that they are burned out and low in energy and don't know where it's coming from. But more and more do realize these coincidences, and so I'm not at all afraid that when we train people to do measurements that we are lacking labor ourselves. Not at all.
That's
We
good.
just took an exam yesterday. We trained 8 new measurement specialists, and they're now ready to go around and help people to get more healthy.
Okay. Where will you find all these people? On Baldron sites?
Yeah, we at the moment at least we are kind of the contact platform for all these people. Yes.
Yes. Ska vi se, your specialty is to find places to help people make buildings that's functioning without too much radiation.
Yes, that's one thing. The other thing is most people they have buildings where they live.
Yes. Yes, and so that's your work.
That's my work.
Yes, and that's then maybe you look at the website. That this is you working lots in Norway or only in Germany and everywhere?
Both in Norway, in Germany, in Switzerland, Austria. I think the whole Europe.
Whole Europe. Okay, so if people wants to have help, special help, who they call you? What's your deal in this cooperation?
We work together. We found and we worked.
Well,
That's great.
you know, Baldron is very much a network.
Yes.
We cooperate with different therapists, and you know, whenever there's a person who really is a master in something, and I think Heiko really is a master in working with earth radiation and with building biology, and so we got very excited about having courses with him, and people were really thankful for what they learned. So we started these trainings, and again, Heiko and we share common friends who complement this with, for example, kinesiology, with thought field therapy, which other kinds of therapy which are also very powerful, which can help to make this a more holistic approach.
Oh, very special things. I think we have to cut down the time now. I just want to show people the different. If you want to know more about Heiko and his stuff, you can go in on Akuri,
Yes.
Akuri.com. And if you want to look more into Raphael's sites with a shop and schools, you have a new school coming up in June.
Yes, yeah.
How long is that?
Well, that's be 3 intensive weekends to become a building biologist, and in between there's a possibility to do some practice. Then you just go around with Heiko and do some measurements, but generally after 3 intense weekends you're done.
Sounds great. Okay, I look forward to put this out on YouTube.
Thank
So
you.
I want to thank you for looking at my house in different kinds of ways and helping me to isolate the ground frequencies and the time you have been sharing with me. Thank you very much. We'll see you again.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.